different angles to it.
Exactly.
So today we look at market surveillance tools and whistleblowing. So over to you, Mr.
Yeah,
Chair.
thank you very much. Like Regina have said, we've been looking at some of the market abuse that are also criminal in the capital market. We've seen identity theft, we've seen client shareholders abuse, market manipulation, insider dealing, and of course we also saw insufficient financial disclosure and accounting fraud. So we'll be looking at market surveillance too. I've said the whistleblowing portal. I've said everybody is expected to be part of this. It's just trying to disclose certain information in your organization if you feel that certain things are not being done properly. And of course, the identity of the whistleblower is also protected. Yeah, so yes, again, on their own part, the capital market authorities, especially the NGS group, they do everything possible to ensure that some of these crimes are not committed, and they are putting control in place to ensure that these things are taken care of. However, if at the end of the day these things still happen and they have done everything they are supposed to do, then of course they will refer the case to EFCC and other stakeholders for further investigation and probably a prosecution. Yeah. Okay. So the whistleblowing guys, of course, if you find yourself in that environment, how you are expected to make that whistleblowing. We don't expect you to just go and start shouting so that they will know that you are the one that have given that information, because you also have to be protected. It's just like somebody who gives information to law enforcement, your identity will have to be protected. Yeah, another tool again is the smart market surveillance tool. Here, this is a lot of technology that, and usually for the surveillance people. So whatever trading you are doing, whatever thing you are putting into the market, with this smart surveillance system, they'll be able to track. See the investor, but whatever thing that is being done in the market, the investor has given that trader the mandate, so it is only the trader we see playing in the market. And if there are unusual pattern in a particular account, of course the smart tool will pick it up and they'll begin to talk to that trader and let him begin to find out from his investor. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's take a case scenario that can sometimes happen, that is potentially fraudulent securities trading and of course account takeover institution. Let's see what happened. Now, a bad actor improperly accesses a customer's brokerage account, that is stock account, to purchase or sell securities at inferior prices. The second scenario, a bad actor hacks the online-based trading app of the firm, creates fictitious cash balances in his trading account to purchase securities. So these are things that can really happen. So let's see. A trading account takeover. And that's why the NGS is saying most of the trading license holders, those stockbroking firms, you must have the 5 cardinal principles. We call it MOS, minimum operating standard. So if you are having a trading app, cyber security should be one of your top priority. Make sure you have all the protective firewalls, as the IT people will call it, and make sure that from time to time you even test it yourself you try to penetrate and see. Because if hackers are able to penetrate through your firm, obviously it will affect the whole market. So, and that is why they do all that to protect and ensure that you have enough cyber security protection, so nothing really happens to your trading app. Okay, so the main issue there is, yes, you will have these financial crime experts, especially cyber crime, these hackers. They will always want to attack your system. You don't wait for them to attack. You test. You do that penetration testing and see how ready, how prepared you are when such attacks comes in. Okay, so in all what we have been saying and discussing, the issue is, let us go for prevention. And like we have seen, I always continue to remind us here that in fighting or combating financial crime, especially in the capital market, prevention, prevention, prevention. And that is what you have in the foremost security agency that is saddled constitutionally to fight financial crime. Their strategic pillar that they came out with 2021 to 2025, it's saying the first item here is prevention. Prevention. So what are the things the NGS and other security exchanges have put in place to ensure that these things are nipped at the bud before it becomes a problem? Early red flags were ignored. When you discover some of these red flags, you just have to flag it. Unusual pattern. A customer has come to you and he bought today, tomorrow he's telling you sell. And you're telling him the price is that, say he doesn't care, just sell. And he's bringing accounts, you should pay the way to this account. These are early warning signs. However, we are not saying that a customer cannot buy today and sell tomorrow. A customer can do that. What we are saying, if you suspect, just make that suspicious transaction report. It is there. You don't need to even let the customer be aware. And it does not mean that if you make that report, the customer is already guilty. No. Or some front staff workers are very fond of doing what they call tipping. They just try to inform the customer. That is also wrong. You are just doing your routine. Just like when somebody comes to deposit certain cash transaction, the rules are there. You just make the report to the relevant agency. Usually it's NFIU. Okay? That's the Nigerian aspect of Financial Intelligence Unit. So that for record purpose, you'll be able to monitor where these monies are coming from, where these monies are going. It is now left for them to determine the pattern and see whether there are criminal or money gotten from criminal sources that is entering the financial sector. It's left for them to do the job. Your job as an operator in the financial service industry, be it a bank, be it a stockbroking firm, is for you to send this data to NFIU and, of course, to your regulators, especially to NFI, because they are the ones that are trained to analyze these figures and see that no, these monies are coming from criminal activities and they have such persons on their watch list. So you don't wait till the crime is committed. Another control concern they put in place is KYC. So in those scenarios that we have just seen briefly, there was no proper KYC. And what is KYC? Know your customer. Know your clients. How can somebody just walk in to a financial institution and say, I want to start a relationship with you? You have not done any KYC. You are supposed to know the client, his name, nature of his business, and if possibly, visit the address and give it to you without the client even knowing. A fact, we have so funny stories where investigators will go and of course the workers there will have teeth. The fraudsters, they will go and stay there. So when you come, of course, now that is why these financial crime investigators, usually from EFCC, they just believe that it's a syndicate. They believe that both you, the operator, you are also collaborating, conniving, and conspiring with these fraudsters. So they just look at all the operators as being also fraudulent. In a way, one wants to blame them, but if you look at it again, it's over time they've seen this thing. And by the time they are through their investigation, you discover that there is one or two persons who are inside. So they get all this information, and before the investigators will go there, oh yes, oh Mr. Lagbaja, this is where he's staying, and this is his house. That's enough confirmation that, so, and by the time they perpetrate that fraud, they collect the money, they are gone into the team air. The person that's claimed that Mr. Lagbaja was staying here, when you go there, they say, there's nobody like that. So we just have to, for us to fight financial crime, every stakeholder was involved. And that is, it goes to when I talk to some organizations, I said, not a KYC. You also have to have a KYE, know your employee. Because if you employ some persons with fraudulent tendencies, there is no amount of something you do in-house that if they want to collaborate, they will collaborate with their friends who are outside them. So you need to know your employees also very well. Know your employees. And of course, the environment in which you operate, which we call corporate governance crime. If the top MD, executive directors, they are seen to be doing some fraudulent activities, of course the other workers will follow suit. Maybe somebody comes to bid for a contract in that company and they know that maybe with 3 million naira they'll be able to finish the job, and you see the people in charge, you say, okay, in fact there is only a particular case where the young man said his boss came and said, hey, a contractor, you finish the job, I mean 3 million, are you sure? 3 million, you do the job, okay, no problem. Where quotes 6 million. And he's quoting 6 million. And he's pushing account, where transfer 6 million to the man's account. You can see. But he knows that at the end of the day, he's going to meet the man, the contractor, where give you that 3 million. This is your 3 million, go and do the job. And there is no way you can do that kind of arrangement in the office when one or two persons will not be aware. And once they see all that, what do you expect them? They will also want to do their own little fraud. So KYC is okay, know your client, but also KYE, know your employees, is also very important. Then another thing again, control, weak information management system. That is how your IT is being done. You should have a strong IT, so that with a strong password, so that anybody cannot just come and access your system. And of course, poor technology and cyber security. This is very, very important. You must have specialists who will tell you, you can even have consultants who will tell you on how to ensure that cyber security is key. You make sure that your cyberspace, you have all the various firewalls, protection, so that people cannot just hack into your system without you knowing. Okay, so I think these are some of the control that we need to put in our system to ensure that we prevent financial crime to occur. So just for a summary, complete your KYC. If you are dealing with your clients, make sure adhere strictly to policies. All these are preventive measures. Then utilize the whistleblowing portal of the NGS group, if possibly. In doubt, if you are in doubt, you request additional information. Okay? And in fact, there is something I must even mention to my colleagues who are stockbrokers. If you are doing a transaction and you are not too sure of the way things are, there is nothing wrong for you to tell the exchange that, look, I'm having this transaction, I'm not too sure of these customers, I need additional information. Of course, they will assist you. Okay? Then be cautious of transfer and referrals. Yes, peculiarly for our own type of transaction, that is the stockbroking, the capital market, people can transfer from one firm to the other, and they just try to confuse the investigators. So what we are saying, before an account leaves your firm, make sure you have done all the due diligence. Lastly, like I have said, know your staff. Know your staff. You just have to know your staff before signing them on. Make sure that these are people that you can vouch for their behavior. So in fighting financial crime in the capital market, particularly